Well, before we open this bird, this week on New This Week, we're going to talk about comics that are new this week.
Well, Django, this week my stack of comics kind of began and ended with X-Men Fantastic Four #1. Probably predictable. I've been loving the Jonathan Hickman thing.
And you're a big Zdarsky guy.
I have become a big Zdarsky guy, actually, through his writing primarily, even though I loved his Sex Criminals art beforehand. Yeah. But he has this amazing ability to strike a really good human tone in the middle of like very superheroic stories. Yep. And that is exactly what he did with X-Men Fantastic Four. Did you read this one?
I did. I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Dawn of X stuff has been hit and miss. Like, some of it I love, and other series are just like relatively disappointing to me.
Yeah.
And this one is kind of capitalizing on the promise of what I wanted out of these Dawn of X books. It doesn't hurt that I also love like Franklin Richards and the Fantastic Four.
Well, but it's giving us a super powered but no, not mutant look at the Krakoa situation, which I really like that.
Yeah, I think I'm mostly interested in the stories that are really rooted in the moral ambiguity of what the X-Men are doing.
Yeah.
But also, Chip Zdarsky did that really great Marvel 2-in-1 run, like, a year and a half ago. So and I remember loving that book and loving his voice for Johnny Storm and The Thing, Doctor Doom when he's written him. So those guys all in here written by him, it's like the best Reed Richards and Sue Storm and just like dialogue for the Fantastic Four that I've read since the Hickman stuff, which you know I love. And it's just great to have Hickman overseeing a book that he did once right. Like, I trust the direction of the Fantastic Four in this.
Let's remember to talk on the audio podcast about the difference in ways that people can't get through those gates. Because I'm curious about that.
Okay.
I read Star Wars Darth Vader #1.
My Star Wars guy.
Yeah, this is set in the same time period as the Star Wars issue that came out the other, like a month ago or so. I think we talked about it
right
on
after
this
Empire.
video. Yeah. So it opens with Vader remembering cutting Luke's hand off, and kind of goes through his feelings about that and him trying to track Luke down. And it's got Shmee, and it's got maybe one of the best Star Wars cliffhangers I've seen in a long time. So I'm real curious about the next one.
I love when Shmee is in a Star Wars thing, because there's not enough connections between Peter Pan and the Star Wars universe.
There's not. There's like the alligator, the space alligator that the
gator.
Mandalorian follows around.
And then Shmee.
That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like that art in that. It's like a way different thing than the sort of photo referencey stuff that we've been getting in most Star Wars books.
Yeah, but it's still pretty spot on those actors,
right?
But not photocopied like you were saying.
Now listen, I won trivia last night, so I didn't get a chance to read this book.
Oh, congratulations!
But why does Immortal Hulk Great Power exist, and what is it?
I think it must be just filling in the gap between a couple other issues of Spider-Man, Immortal Hulk. But it is really good. It's just a one-shot story of the Immortal Hulk inside of Peter Parker while Bruce Banner watches. And Fantastic Four trying to help solve the problem, because that is a big problem.
It's a very big green problem. You haven't been reading Immortal Hulk, but you love Tom Taylor, so you read this.
I did, and usually Tom Taylor makes me cry. This time he made me laugh out loud like 3 times.
Oh!
So I don't know what kind of deal with devil this guy made, but it's good.
Without having read Immortal Hulk, did it make sense, or did it not need to?
No, this is totally self-contained. You need to know who Hulk and Spider-Man are.
Okay.
Doesn't hurt if you know who Keith Richards?
The guitar player for the Rolling Stones?
Oh,
yes, old Reed Richards. Okay, and this is another one that's on the top of my stack that I haven't had a chance to read.
Yeah, this is just the Django middle here.
I love the Django. You're the cream of the Oreo cookie that is this Wednesday.
The man who effed up time.
Thank you for self-censoring.
Do you know what F stands for?
No.
Me neither, but he kind of messed it up. He messed up time. I really like the art in this. It's this dude who, through a little tiny time travel snafu ends up really messing up the world. Somehow Abraham Lincoln was never assassinated.
And he's got bushes made of his head.
He's Abraham Lincoln the 4th or 6th or something is the current president. Everybody wears top hats stylishly. The cops fly dinosaurs.
What does he do to go back in time to have messed up time?
It's like a lab assistant in a place that made a time machine.
But like, did he go back in time and do one small change?
Yeah, like a week earlier.
Okay.
So, like, how do you go back 1 week and prevent Abraham Lincoln from being murdered?
I tell you what.
Only John Layman can tell us.
The time stream is so fragile.
It's great.
It's great. Aftershock Comics, they put a lot of stuff out, and they kind of cover the wide emotional spectrum, much like Tom Taylor and you.
Yeah, they get it all. And I would say I really like about half their books.
And is that one of them?
That's one of them. Okay. I really like it. And John Layman's great. He did Chew. He's doing your favorite Afu Chan illustrated Outer Darkness comic. You know. On
the topic of emotionally sort of all over the place, this Jimmy T. IV Batman run, this is the 3rd issue of that. How'd you feel about this issue compared to the previous 2? Like, I like the second one more than the first.
I'd have to say that I didn't read it yet.
Oh, in that case, let me tell you about it.
Spoil it.
There are like 2 stories going on in his comic series at this point, and one is involving like the Riddler and Catwoman and Penguin, and that is really interesting to me, and it's written really well, and I really like Guillem March's art on it.
He's great.
Then the cream of the Oreo of this issue is that obviously they're all related, but it's this sort of Deathstroke Batman fight, and I don't care as much about that. I am stunned that there are several pages of art in here that like don't have text bubbles, which from James Tynion IV is an impressive thing.
He's been listening to you,
Jimmy. But there's a final reveal of a character in this that shows up that is timely. I don't want to spoil it for everybody. We had been told that they were going to show up, but it's a thing that really kind of causes me to lose interest. It's not Amethyst. That's a several-page preview for Amethyst.
Right.
But it's really interesting. There are parts of this series that I like a lot.
Yeah.
And then parts that really make me not at all interested. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on it because as just a sort of hardcore seasoned Batman veteran like yourself,
I love Batman. He's putting up a lot of barriers, but so far I've enjoyed the book. So.
They do a really cool thing with the Batmobile in this.
All right.
Like sort of alternative Alfred does a cool alternative Batmobile thing.
All right. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah, it was I'll keep reading it. Like it's compelling in a strange way, but I don't know. With what happened at the end of this, I'm kind of on the fence maybe, but
yeah.
But that's what I read.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
You know what time it is?
We got to open this bird up.
We got to open this bird
We got to get this thing open.
Like, subscribe, and comment.